Hello, my spicy friends. Today, we're going to be taking a look at LILEEP and Cradily in their Retro Cup. Now, I know I've posted a couple teams previously that might have been considered kind of gimmicky or not super great, but I promise you guys, this is the real deal. In this set, I go 4-1 with this team. Talonflame does a lot of cool stuff, of course, but I think that the double LILEEP-CRADILY backline, an enemy hole, that's never going to catch on. I'm going to keep calling it that. I think it's a pretty good. This is a really good team for a couple of reasons. First of all, Talonflame got buffed pretty hard recently. Now that Incinerate is an amazing move. Cradily got Rock Slide recently. Not this season, I think the one before or the one before that. But anyway, this is a pretty solid team composition that's been viable in previous limited metas in the past. It's just that, you know, it's very uncommon because most people don't happen to have a maxed out best buddy LILEEP, but I do. And so I thought, what if I built a team around that? Again. Now it turns out this team actually does pretty well in the Retro Cup. We are currently in the middle of a Dragon meta right now. And I was really enjoying this team when Retro Cup started. Or I don't know if I should say started, more like when Great League ended, or when I got tired of Open, or just wanted to mess around. But the point is, right near the start of the season, Lantern was everywhere in this meta. And it's not really hard to see why, because Lantern is amazing. But now the meta has kind of shifted towards Dragon types, and this team has kind of adapted pretty well to that. Partially LILEEP, since it has Infestation, that means that its fast move isn't resisted by dragons, and it can throw out ancient powers, maybe even get some boosts here and there. And Cradyly's Rock Slide, that 2 shots Dragonair, 2 of them knock it out. And obviously it does pretty well into Altaria too. And finally, Talonflame's Brave Bird hurts dragons really, really hard in this meta too. We love to see it. Now, as you can see here, my opponent is running a Shadow Shiny Dragonair. Super cool pick, looks pretty awesome. I wasn't sure if I was going to get the farm down right there, but you know what? I pull it off, so I'm very happy with that. Feels good, man. So let's see here. Next lead is a Shadow Dragonair. Up against my Talonflame, we are going to instantly pivot into LILEEP. LILEEP is actually a pretty good safe switch in this format. Like, I'm not trying to argue that LILEEP is, like, overall a better Pokemon than Cradily. All it really has is slightly better bulk, but I think LILEEP would still rather generally have Rock Slide than Ancient Power. I think my voice is cracked there. But anyway, LILEEP, thanks to having Infestation, that means it's got a decent matchup into grass types, which in this meta means mostly Cradily, because Cradily is a meta Pokemon in the Retro Cup format at the moment. But also means that, like I said earlier, Infestation isn't resisted by Dragon types, which means that it can get to some spammy Ancient Power stuff against Dragonair. So it's not really a bad matchup for LILEEP. And, you know, LILEEP's got that 12.5% chance to just completely flip most matchups on their head and dominate with the Ancient Power boosts. I think I built this team, like, the original idea for this team way back in, like, some Holiday Cup a couple of years ago, where Ancient Power used to give you some crazy boosts when you got it off. That was pretty fun. So right here, right now, I'm predicting they're going to shield, so I'm going to go for the slightly cheaper Flame Charge on my Talonflame. Now, I have seen some people run Fly Talonflame instead of Brave Bird, or Fly Flame Charge Brave. No, I got that wrong. It's Fly Brave Bird. You know, you only have 2 charge moves at a time, people. And the Talonflame user would kind of just hope to get the fire damage from Incinerate. And you know what? I understand where that kind of thing is coming from. Oh, holy shit, we actually live that. Nice. Anyway, I know where the Talonflame players are coming from with that kind of crazy team, but personally, I think Flame Charge Incinerate is just too good of a combo to pass up on. This might have been a bit of a risky play right here, but I correctly predict that the Flame Charge is going to do just enough damage to knock out the Shadow Dragonair, which is pretty awesome. You know, I like winning things. I like winning. This team does a lot of winning. Now, as I think I put in the video title, this is a 4-1. Is this it? Yeah, I think this is a game where I mess up big time, guys. I hate to admit it, but it's true. So we're gonna go over this in detail. First of all, I think that this right now is definitely the correct play, and also my opponent is running some crazy spice. Props to them. I think Marowak, Marowak is a decent, out of all the Mudslap users, Marowak is definitely one of them. And I think it's great to see that people are experimenting with Mudslap Marowak, and now that's got more energy. It's got Rock Slide, Bone Club for baiting. I believe it also has Earthquake straight up, good nuke potential. Anyway, in comes Dragonite. And obviously, we're going to want to throw the rock move here. Just spam those ancient powers. I probably should have thrown as soon as possible, because if I had gotten the ancient power boost, I may have gotten to another ancient power, but I didn't get the boost, so that doesn't really matter. Yeah, I take it back. I wasn't really close. So in comes the Cradily. I decide not to shield because I decide, you know what, I can probably live this ancient power. It might even be a bait. I meant to say superpower, fuck. But unfortunately, we just barely live it, so bad play all around. And I do not know my camera up counts, which, mistake? Yeah, definitely a big mistake. So I was thinking I'll just farm this camera up with a with my Talonflame, which I should have done. I should have farmed up, gone for the Brave Bird, could have gotten an easy 5-0. The point is, this battle was a major skill issue. I'm not going to hold it against this team. I try to undercharge here, but unfortunately, it's just too little too late. I can get off 1 Incinerate, but that's not going to be enough here. In comes the Dragonite, and I'm kind of just fucked here. So, yeah, GG's my opponent. If I hadn't choked, I hopefully would have done a little better. But, yeah, we hate to see it. Anyway, on to the next game. I don't believe my backline does much this round. Let's see here. Is this the one with the Abomasnow lead? No, it's a Toxicroak lead. I think Abomasnow lead is just an entirely different set. Anyway, we're just gonna farm them down here. What we're gonna do here is hopefully very obvious, because neither Lileep nor Cradily really want to go up against Toxicroak for very obvious type-related reasons. I'm just gonna farm down here. They shielded, that is completely fine. The fact they're staying in here really goes to show that they are probably weak to Talonflame in the back as well. Maybe ABA weak. They're gonna go for the Shadow Ball, which is definitely a good effort. If I had predicted the bait, then I would have been in a bad situation for sure. But unfortunately for them, I decided to just get a bunch of energy and play it safe. So, Next game, I believe this is the final set of the night, and it's up against the Cradily. This, I think this is in favor of the Cradily if they don't shield the first flame charge, because all they really have to do is just outpace us to a rock slide, which is harder after the first flame charge because the count is still 3-2, 3-2 for Talonflame, I believe. Even though in Talonflame, you know, your counts that beyond that doesn't really matter. I think it might get a little bit more volatile after that. But the point is, Talonflame can definitely hold its own in this matchup. I was kind of trying to catch something there. They switch out. Not great. So I'm going to go for the bait here, because normally switching in a Swampert to a grass type is a really bad idea. So if something tells me that you know, something's up, I'm going to want to keep my Lileep in here. And what do you know, I bait, call they're going to want to shield, protect the Swampert, and I get the boost. So they're going to go for the Earthquake here, which does a lot of damage. I would have lived it if it wasn't for that boost, but you know, the boost is always nice. We love the boost. Lileep boosting is, it just feels good, man. Yeah, not much else to say. I might have been able to get a little bit greedy after this Hydro Cannon, but yeah, you know, Swampert is really fast. We don't want to play too many games with this guy. We're just going to go for a knockout here with the Grass Knot. And since Lileep is boosted, you know, maybe we can get some stuff done here. And in comes Dragonair, which is great. Actually, we got the boost because not only do we make it to another Ancient Power, this Ancient Power itself is also boosted. So it's going to do a huge chunk of damage. Like, look, that's insane. That's more than a Cradily Rock Slide. So this is definitely a moment where I'm kind of just like, fuck it, you know, I'm going to bring in my Talonflame. As long as I can get my Cradily into position where I can farm them down, then I don't really care. I'm not exactly sure what they've got in the back here, but I'm really hoping that it's something Cradily can beat, especially considering their weird strategy earlier of keeping the Swampert lined up against the Lileep. It's Dragonair. Were we up against the Dragonair earlier? I'm tired, man. I'm really tired tonight, man. Anyway, yes, we knock out their Dragonair. GG's my opponents, all of them. And overall, yeah, this team is actually really legit. Like, holy shit, this is like probably the closest thing to a meta team I've done in a long time. So, yeah, had a lot of fun. Meta, yet spicy. If it's possible, I think that's what you would describe this team as. Anyway, thanks for watching, my spicy friends. I hope you all have a great night yourselves. I'm tired, so I'm going to go to bed. And, you know, guys, just remember, stay spicy.